What's up, Power Ranger fans? My Renegade family, my Morphinominal Monday massive. I don't know. I ran out. I'm not very good at the whole improving thing, but what I am good at is welcoming you to our lovely Monday live stream here on Play Renegade. Wow, that is a lot of water. Holy moly. I just took the top off of my my palette and it is sopping wet. I wonder why. I mean, wet palettes are supposed to be wet, so that's a good thing, but there's a lot of extra water here that I don't need. Well, let's put that somewhere, not there. I guess I gotta clean my wet palette after this stream. Anyway, welcome. This is a terrible intro so far, by the way. I'm Daddy Louie, and I am honored, excited, thrilled, happy, all of the good emotions that you have when you're doing something you enjoy, to be here with you on this Morphinominal Monday. So, today we are painting... I'm going to butcher the name. I really hope that I pronounced this correctly. I probably should have looked that up prior to logging into the stream. But we're painting Mesogog. Mesogog is a villain. I think he's the villain in Dino Thunder, I believe. But you guys will correct me if I'm wrong, which I'm sure that I am. And that is who we are painting today. So here's the model. Some of you already have this wonderful model in your possession. If you live over in the UK, a lot of you have already started to receive your Kickstarter, which is super exciting. So if that is the case, I hope that you are following along with me tonight instead of just watching. And for those of you that don't have the model yet, this is what it looks like. This model is... I'm not going to lie, I was not super excited about painting this model. He is, from what I've seen in the screen captures that I've looked at, and things like that, he is pretty much all black from the neck down in most of the screenshots. A lot of the screen captures seem to be that he's inside of a layer and it's really dark. Makes his robe and his undergarments all look pretty black. And then he's just basically got his head, which is a mixture of some grays and some blues, maybe a hint of green, some cream colors, and then his red eyebrows. So on the surface, not really a whole lot to this model. However, we are going to take a few liberties. There are some screen captures where he's outside and his robes look like they have a greenish tint to them. So I'm going to change things up a little bit. I am going to paint the robe a green color. His skin will be fun. His head, that will be kind of fun to do. And yeah, I'm having a hard time figuring out what to do with like these shoulder pad things that he has. In a lot of the scenes, he doesn't have shoulder pads or pauldrons. It's just his robes and they're flat, or there's nothing there, or they're just black and just kind of go in with the thing. So I don't know if I want to do something different with the pauldrons or not. These bones that come out of his elbows, again, in a lot of the scenes, you don't really see those. I'm assuming that they're just supposed to also be the same color as his uniform. So I don't know if we're going to change some things up. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments how you want to see this. I'm going to start with some pretty basic stuff. Just do the undergarments in German gray. I'm going to use Death World Forest for the green. It's a little bit brighter than what I'm wanting, but we'll put a wash on it. It'll darken it down. And then we'll probably save the skin towards the end, since that is a little bit more entertaining. So, as always, we have primed this miniature with Wraithbone Citadel spray. Of course, we gave it a nice little cleaning with some warm soapy water and an old toothbrush. I do that with every plastic miniature that I paint, for the most part, except really Games Workshop stuff. And I will grab my paintbrushes here. And this wet palette is not... It's a hot mess. So I really hope that that does not affect my painting, because there is just stuff everywhere. But Mesogog was pretty highly requested, so hopefully you guys enjoy this painting with me today. Alright, so like I said, we're just going to get started. This is German Gray from Vallejo that we are starting with here. We're just using that for the garments that we want to be quote-unquote black, which are his boots, his pants, and whatever the stuff is underneath his robe. You could start with the robe if you wanted to. I guess you could start in a lot of places if you wanted to, but this just seems to be the most logical painting with a color that I'm super familiar with to start. And we'll go from there. When I was looking at reference photos today online, I got some serious, like, Mario Brothers vibes from this character. And I say Mario Brothers as in Mario Brothers, the live action movie. The villain in that movie, which I can't remember if it was Bowser or if he was supposed to be Bowser or if he was King Koopa. I'm not really sure who off the top of my head. I'd have to look it up because it's been a while since I've seen that movie. But yeah, they must have watched that movie a lot when they were developing this character for Power Rangers, because they look very similar to me. Anyway, you guys are probably like, what in the hell are you talking about? Somebody out there knows what I'm talking about. The pauldrons things is just fabric. Yeah, on the model, they don't look fabric. You know, the way that it's kind of designed. It's on the model specifically, they look kind of... you know, I don't know, not metal, but definitely not fabric either. So I also know people like to see me paint stuff screen accurately, so I don't want to really jack anything up too bad. So we'll see, or take too many liberties. The green is definitely kind of screen accurate. Like I said, when he's in some of the scenes when he's outside, his robes do have a green tint to them, like a dark green. So mine might be a little lighter than what you'd see on the show, but I don't have a ton of green colors to choose from, and I definitely don't want to just do, you know, if you want to, you could just do like German Gray on the whole thing, basically from his neck down, and that would also be screen accurate. But I don't think that would be very entertaining to watch me paint just one color and then go to the head. So President Koopa. That's what I thought. I thought he was going for like more of like a King Koopa thing, not, he wasn't Bowser. But like as he was transforming towards the end of the movie, you know, into like that dinosaur, lizard, reptile thing that he was turning into, um, definitely looks like Mesogog a little bit. To me, again, you guys might not catch the resemblance. um, yeah, the head and claws have a dino look for sure. Yeah, I don't know if his claws, like on the model, I don't know if they're like in again in the screen captures that I've got open and everything, like his hands and his claws and everything don't look like his skin. Like they're not, you know what I mean? Like his skin in the show, when looking at his face, um, they are not. You know, they're very light colored. But then you look at his hands and stuff, and they look straight black to me, anyway. That's gonna end up being black. We'll probably end up coming back to this German gray color a couple of times as we get further into the model. Because again, I think no, I'm not saying that they're similar in personality. I just, when I look at these pictures of Mesogog, being someone who's, you know, never watched the show, but I have seen the Mario movie, immediately that is what I think of. Is Koopa in that movie. In just based on his looks, how he looks. If you guys see something that I'm painting like a totally wrong color, please let me know. Like, if you think that this bone that's, I'm assuming it's a bone, that's sticking out of his elbow should be a bone color, let me know. But I couldn't, in all the screenshots that I looked at, it looks like it's just, again, black, like most everything on the model. So for now, that's what I'm painting it. Are you going to go over his claws red near the tips? Of course. That is nearly the only color on the whole model, so we'll definitely get that red in there. On the face and on the claws. Kind of looks like the spikes are attached to his gauntlets in the show. Yeah, I kind of get that vibe as well. Like it almost, you'd almost think that his claws would be, you know, skin colored, like his head and his face, but they're not. It's almost like he's got gloves on or something. Well, he's got these, like, bracers, so that's, like, so if you look here, this white spot here that I didn't paint, those are, like, some weird bracers, so I might end up painting those a different color. That's why I didn't paint them right now. We'll see. I don't know if I want to do gold, maybe. We'll see. Right now we're just about trying to get that base color on there. I think he's wearing gloves and his claw nails are poking out. His left boot is pink? What? Now I think you're just messing with me. Why would his left boot be pink? Alright, let's start working on this green a little bit. So for the green, I'm going to use Death World Forest to start, and then we'll go from there. It's kind of a brownish green color, very drabbish. And again, it's a little lighter than what I'm wanting, but my options are I could mix some German gray in there or some black to darken it. But in this case, I'm gonna go with it, see how it looks, and then we can darken it up with a wash. If you don't have this color, you could also use Death Guard green. They're very similar. I think I put too much water on there, but I'd rather have too much than not enough, I guess. guess I have to start deciding real quick here whether or not I'm going to paint these shoulder pads the same as the robes. I don't know, guys. I don't know. He does have a gold belt buckle, yep. Why did I paint that freaking green? That's not green. And I knew that. Duh. Alright, I'm just going for it. So if you had the choice to paint Mesogog any colors you wanted, what would you go with? So the pauldrons and these spikes, I guess, whatever they're called, I would probably paint them a bone color. And I would make him just look a little more... like, I kind of dig this green on the robe. I might do a different color on the pants. The boots being German gray are fine. I don't know what color I would do the pants. But I definitely give him more, like, bone-type features. I feel like him being, like, you know, a dinosaur, or... I mean, I'm assuming he's a dinosaur. You know, I would just give him more bone-like features in certain spots. And then probably do, like, these bracers in gold, which I still might. But I might not, I'm not sure. The red on the face is cool. Some of the pictures that I see online, they almost look pink, but they're definitely red, and I would probably highlight that a little more. He's got these, like, on his gauntlets or whatever, at least in this, there's almost like scales. So I would probably paint those to be a little more like his skin. So I'd do basically from the elbow down, I would do, or from the, I'm not even showing you, the elbow, oh, that would be cool. A red robe, like a Hugh Hefner vibe. Like from the elbow down, I would paint the same color as his skin, to make it look like he's, you know, bare skin on those parts. And yeah, I kind of like this color for the robe, so I would probably keep that. Maybe not darken it down as much as I'm going to. These lines on the robe, those, maybe like a gold trim or something like that. So that's what I would think I would do. I like his skin color on the show and in the reference images. I would just make it more, you know, put more of it on the model. I just feel like so many of these characters are not, they just don't have color, you know, they're so dark. And I mean, some of the characters are, of course, super bright, but I mean, I guess that's the point. You want the you know, the show and the comics and, you know, the game or whatever, you know, they want the heroes to really stand out, so they're gonna make the villains' color palettes very dark and blah. And then, you know, here you have these rangers who are super bright colored and really pop, and that all makes sense. It's just when it comes to painting the villains, it's not, except for certain ones, you know. Louie Kaboom, for example, you know, he's, you know, that's different. But unfortunately, we've already painted all those. It just seems like all these new ones are very blah. To no fault of Renegades, that's just how the characters were designed. Right now I'm just going over as the green is drying, and I'm reapplying some paint because my paint was pretty thin. So I'm just trying to make sure that I get all those spots covered. But we'll come back to it while it dries. We'll work that. You have to paint one, Mesogog or Goldar. Goldar, I think. Honestly. Their scales looking in pictures. Yeah, but they're still the same color as everything else. They're not a different color, you know? So those of you that have watched the show, is Mesogog, I'm assuming he's not a, somebody said he's no joke. I've heard he's, you know, one of the more evil villains, you know. Is that true? All villains are evil, obviously, but I think some are a little more cheesy and less evil, you know. Dark is probably what I should say. Is he a darker character? One of these days I will paint Mega Goldar. It'd be nice to have, like, every week we do, like, every Monday and just a month, you know. He's the big boss of the series. He's not cheesy, I'd say quite sinister. Rita, for example, I feel like was quite cheesy. It really wasn't until Lord Zed came along where Rita kind of stepped up her game. She had her moments, of course, but overall, I'd say she was more cheesy and less more cheesy and less sinister and evil. He's more Zed-like, okay. Because Zed was nasty. Man, I'm not doing too good. I probably need to switch to a smaller brush. That's, I think, my problem here. This is black. Straight black. I think a lot of my problem is this palette. Oh, man. Yeah, this is straight black here on these, on the trim of the robe. I want there to be a noticeable difference between the belt and the trim around the robe than the undergarments.
Want you to notice the one and I know this perfect soulmate. I wanna show my best friend.
almost done with this little trim here. Alright, let's see. I still don't know about those bracers, guys. A little off topic, but did you ever reveal that unofficial crisis model you had? No, I didn't. I had this big plan to do this live stream on my over on the Circle of Nerds channel, and paint it up over there. I was really, really big, like during the height of the pandemic, I was really big into painting Marvel Crisis Protocol miniatures. Because my gaming group, that was our primary game before, when the pandemic happened, we were playing Crisis Protocol weekly. So I was like, oh, I'm going to get everything painted, and I did. I had new release came out, I bought it, 2 weeks later, everything was fully painted. But then the game just started, like, I was working more, and the game started pumping out so many miniatures. Like, they have monthly releases now, like 6 to 8 miniatures per month, which is a lot to keep up with when you're also doing this and you're also doing other things. And I had at the time I had a Team Covenant subscription, so I was getting the you know what I mean? What am I trying to say? I was getting the new miniatures every single month, and it just got to be too much, so I canceled my subscription. And I actually have next to me the last wave that I had gotten still in the package. I still haven't even opened it. And then the wave before that I built, but I still haven't even primed. So it just got to be pretty overwhelming, and I just had to take a break from painting Marvel stuff. And then as the pandemic started to lift and I could get together with people again, we had kind of jumped ship. Not really jumped ship completely, but we broke from playing Marvel Crisis Protocol to trying out the new Kill Team. So I immediately started painting up a Kill Team, and didn't get that done yet. Everything's built, but it's not all fully painted. But now my play group is like super into Flesh and Blood, which is a card game, which requires me to paint nothing. So I've just been lazy with my painting, I guess, is the bottom line. Because, been playing a lot of video games, and opening Pokemon cards, and building Flesh and Blood decks, and hanging out with you fine people to paint Power Rangers, which is pretty much all I'm painting these days. I do have some Tyranids right next to me that are a lot painted. Not fully painted, but a lot painted. Which is cool because I'm actually, for the first time ever, with my Tyranids, if you know me, you know I'm a box art painter. So I buy something and then I paint stuff to look just like the box art, because I stink at picking color palettes. I'm creating my own color palette for my Tyranids. So I'm creating my own Tyranid hive, calling it Hive Joker. And I'm going with a Joker theme for my Tyranids. So that's kind of cool, I think. Um, because that's very outside of my comfort zone. So hopefully one day, even if we stop playing Kill Team, which I hope we don't, because it's tough jumping from game to game. Although I really love Flesh and Blood. And yeah, so Mesogog could be a Tyranid, yes. But yeah, I guess I kind of want to show one off. Is that bad? Yeah, I won't do that. But they're cool. They're pretty cool. I got like the smile on their face and everything. It's pretty cool. All right, so I'm gonna let that dry. I'm pretty happy with that color on the robe. I know on camera it's tough to see, but there is a distinct difference between the black on the robe versus the black undergarments. And now I want to do gold for the belt buckle. Did you see Detective Pikachu? Yeah, I love Detective Pikachu. I own it. It's one of the few DVDs I own. Or Blu-rays, I guess. I love all things Pokemon. I have a very... Yeah, it's bad. Came out of nowhere. I mean, I've always been a fan of Pokemon. I remember playing the games on my Game Boy on my grandparents' living room floor with my cousin. He had blue and I had red. And we had between the two of us, we only had one copy of the strategy guide. So we were sharing the same strategy guide as we went through and played the game on our Game Boys. And we watched. That's the original Game Boy, by the way. That's how old I am, not the advanced or the color. That's just plain old Game Boy, which I still own. And yeah, I've been a Pokemon fan that long. New episodes. I used to wait for new episodes of the very first season of Pokemon. So we were waiting on new episodes to release on Saturday morning of the Kanto Orange League. Was it? Yeah, I think it was the Orange League. Indigo League. Sorry. Orange was the second. So yes, I'm a huge Pokemon nerd. I've tried to play the games as they've come out over the years. Never gotten into one of them as much as I did the original, but here and there I'd pick it up and play a little bit. But the Pokemon was pretty much not... It wasn't much of a thing for me over the last... several years, I would say, until when I got sick in February. So in February, I had gallbladder issues, and I was in the hospital. And while I was in the hospital, I don't want to say like, thinking about life or whatever, but like, I had lots of time to think, and I was like, I want to do something with I want to get closer to my kids. My son's almost ready to graduate high school, so he's going to be leaving soon, and I really just wanted to do something with him. So I asked him if he wanted to get into something with me, he could kind of pick. And I picked him up from work one day, and he was like, I'm hungry, there's McDonald's right next door. And we went to McDonald's, and they had the McDonald's Pokemon cards. If you guys remember back in like February and March or whatever. And so we got some, and that was it. He said, let's collect and open Pokemon cards. And that is how the obsession began again. The new Pokemon obsession. And now I am completely 100% obsessed with Pokemon again. And he has pretty much stopped collecting with me. His excitement ran out real quickly, and he's just not into that kind of thing. He likes opening the packs with me or whatever, but then he's like, okay, I'm done, and I'll sit there and do all the organizing and all that stuff. But it's not just cards, man. I wish that I could show you my, like, in my man cave, my studio or whatever. If I'm staring at my computer like I am now, looking at you guys, to my left and to my right, I have right. I have like these little benches. They're like built-in benches that are built into the wall, and they run the whole length of the wall. On this whole side, it's probably about, I would say 8 feet worth. It's about 8 foot long and about 10 to 12 inches wide is the bench on my left side. It is full of Pokemon stuff, not cards, Pokemon like memorabilia. And it goes all the way down, like I said, like 8 feet. And then it's probably about 2 feet high stacked now with stuff. And none of that I owned prior to February of this past year. Actually, probably none of it I owned prior to March or April. So, yeah. It came quick. And, yeah, it's crazy. So. It is Retributor armor. I'm getting Pokemon Redo game on Switch. Yeah, there's a Pokemon game coming out. A couple weeks, I think. A new one. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I'm waiting on that robe to dry before I drop in some colors. I think I'm going to drop in the robe before I do a wash. I might want to go ahead and start painting the face, because that's going to need a wash as well. So the first color that I'm going to start with is Celestial Gray. I do know that some red needs to go on there. On the belt buckle and on the claws. That'll be last. I think the robe is black velvet material on the show, which is why the rest... See, I've seen some stuff where it looks green. I don't know. It's really tough to tell. Really, really tough. So this is Celestial Gray. This is going to be my base coat for the... for the skin here. It's like a bluish gray color. Yeah, the video game I used a lot of the images from the game, and in the game his robes are definitely green. So yeah, I agree that the screen captures from the show are terrible on Google. Atomic actually helped me today. He sent me some screen captures directly from, I think it was Netflix, which were helpful. But again, with the problem is most of the time when you see the character, he's like in his lair, and his lair is all dark and crap, so it's hard to hard to see. See what the inside of his mouth looks like. I guess it's typical. I don't know if I like that gold around the bracers. What do you guys think? I've seen some other things where it's like his bracers are a little more... I think we might go with a black metal. That's what I think we're going to do. So this is black metal from scale 75. Man, my wet palette has so much water. You see I put that down and it immediately starts running. It's not great, guys. Definitely have to clean that out after this. I'll just have to take it upstairs. The inside of his mouth looks like a mouth. Yeah, that's true. So this is black metal from scale 75. I don't use scale 75 very often, but a few of their paints are just so good, worth having in your collection of paints, and this is one of them, black metal. It's probably going to take a couple coats since I've got to go over that gold now. Like a silly man, I thought I would do something different. To my knowledge, GW doesn't really have an equivalent to this color. And if they do, it's not that great because I've never heard of it. Definitely recommend, if you don't get a lot of scale 75 paints, this is definitely one that you should have. It's just a really dark metallic color. Is it a lot darker than Lead Belcher? Yeah. I'll try and give you a little comparison. It's just different. I shouldn't even necessarily say it's darker. It's different. It's just a different... let me see if I can get a little bit of Lead Belcher on my... I really need to get more Lead Belcher. Holy moly. I need to get more, I ordered some Althuan Gray, so that'll be here. Iron Warriors. I don't think I have any Iron Warrior. Maybe I do. No, it's not going to come out. I guess I'm just out of Lead Belcher. So I guess that's a good thing I don't know. Look at that. It's like peeling off of the... That's wild. is this not coming up? There it goes. It's not dry. It's just this on top. But I can literally, it looks like I can peel it right off. That. That's cool. I amuse myself. Alright. See if I can get some of this lead Belcher now. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see this on the camera, I don't think, but I'll show you anyway. I guess you can. So the bottom one here is the lead Belcher, and then that top one up there is the black metal from scale 75. So that kind of gives you an idea of the difference between the two. Not a super, you know, exact representation since it's on camera, but it almost has like a cool, like midnight bluish tint to it. Cool. All right. I just need to get some paint on the... this is Screamer Pink for the inside of the mouth. Pretty much just put a little paint on there and shove the paintbrush in his mouth and just get the whole inside of his mouth this color. And then you can build up the other colors after that. 9 times out of 10, it's Screamer Pink that I'm putting inside there. And then when you can darken it up and with the wash and all that other stuff. So. Where is this? Yes, it is. It is a Citadel paint. So he's looking pretty good. I'm contemplating I'm contemplating doing one more layer on the skin, but maybe darkening it a little bit. I know when I put a wash on it, it's going to darken, but I might want it to be slightly darker than that. Not really sure what I want to do there. So my thought process here is darken the whole thing and then start making everything lighter, starting towards the back and working my way front. So it basically just gets progressively lighter. Because if you look at the pictures, the front of his face, the bridge of his nose, all that other stuff is straight, straight, almost like a cream color or a white color or a gray, whatever it is. So it's like super light in the front and then gets progressively darker in the back. So that's the effect that we want to go for. I just don't know if I want it to be darker than this. So we'll see. Yeah. So the eyes and the claw tips and the belt, those will basically be last. And of course, I could always put 2 washes over the skin to make it darker as well. So let's just go straight to wash. I mean, we don't have a ton of time. Unfortunately, that's kind of the thing with painting on these streams is, we only have 2 hours to get the whole model done or as much of the model done as possible. We don't want to save, this particular model for a second stream. So we're just going to null oil the whole thing and go from there. So null oil is a wash from Citadel. It's a GW shade. And I want to cover the whole thing. Again, we really wanted to darken this green. And again, if it's not as green as we want it to be, we could, put a second coat on of the wash if we had time and or wanted to. I think it's going to darken it up quite a bit, though. I'm going to be very generous with how I put it on, so... And I realize that at the end of the day, the model may not be 100% screen accurate because getting screen accurate photos of the model has been challenging. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with having taken some liberties with the green robe. I think it looks great. Or will look great when it's done. And when you're painting your model, if you don't like the green, you could just go with different shades of black and grays and stuff like that. I just know that watching me paint nothing but blacks and grays is not necessarily the most entertaining thing. So I try and switch stuff up when that happens so that we're not just painting all the same color. Also, it's tough to see on camera, you know, if we're painting just blacks and grays and stuff. It's tough to see the color transitions, and it's tough to see the shading and all that other stuff. Even now, with what I'm doing, you're not going to necessarily be able to see everything, so... kind of trying to avoid the mouth a little bit because I just did it, so I don't know if it's dry. All right, so as that wash darkens, I'm probably going to put another layer of the wash on the face just to make it a little darker, especially in the back of the head there. It'll just be easier. I think it'll look a little better. All right, let's give that a couple minutes to dry. And while we wait, let's talk about the model we painted last week, huh? Shall we? So this is Dane. We got him mostly done in 2 streams, but as you can see, the base is not finished. All of the gravel that we put down is pretty much not going anywhere. A few bits will probably fall off. So I think the next step here on this particular model is to put a wash down on the rocks to make them darker, because it's just too light. So to do that, we're going to use Agrax Earthshade. I thought about doing black as well, or black instead. So I thought about using Nuln Oil, because I've done that quite frequently. I've done that quite often with gravel, this brown gravel, and then putting a black wash over top of it to make it super dark. The reason I'm leaning towards Agrax Earthshade here is because when we make those scorch marks on the ground, which we're going to do here on the parts where we removed the rocks and we put some scuff marks and stuff in, we want the scorch marks to be black, right? So that's why I'm thinking about doing brown for the wash, and then that way when we do the scorch marks in black, it'll be more noticeable. It'll be a little better. So while we wait for that other model to dry, since I'm got everything out and I'm super excited, we're going to go ahead and do that. So yes, we are doing Mesogog today, if you are just joining us. However, we're letting some things dry, and while they dry, we're just going to keep working on Dane a little bit. And this is kind of going to be the par for course, right? Until Dane is done, whenever we have a break, finish early, we're just going to jump over and keep working on him, because normally we don't put this much effort into the bases of the models that we do, but Dane is by far my personal favorite model from this wave, maybe in all of Heroes of the Grid. And so I'm just giving it a little bit of extra love and attention for my personal collection here. So I'm just putting a lot of wash down. It's also going to help seal these rocks in a little bit more, these pebbles. I have done this a few times, so I kind of know what I'm doing. But I am by no means a pro, so, you know, if you are wondering, that's just, I was not a pro. Semi-pro. Well, I'm like the JV, right? I didn't make the varsity team, but I'm on the JV team. Yes, we did put the scar on the face. It's, I'll focus in a second. You'll be able to see it a little better. Does that make you my cheerleaders? Well, I don't think the JV team has cheerleaders. I think it's just the varsity guys. At least when I went to high school, I don't think there were JV cheerleaders. Tony, did our school have JV cheerleaders? I don't think so. I think the cheerleaders were all varsity. I don't think that the JV teams had cheerleaders. He'll know. He'll remember. I don't remember shit like that. He might not be here anymore. He might not have heard me. He's probably multitasking. Not that I recall. See, I knew you'd remember. Yeah, I don't think that the JV team had cheerleaders. Pretty sure that, or it's possible that the cheerleaders that cheered for varsity also cheered for JV. It's possible that they were one and the same, but I don't think that there was a separate cheerleading squad for the JV team. Okay, so that wash is on there. Some of the rocks came off. That's par for the course. Hopefully that will darken that up. I just think it makes it look a lot better than the rocks that were there before. And then we can do the other stuff. But someone was asking about the scar. You can see that scar on there. The bridge of his nose. So, alright, so we'll put that aside. Check on Mesogog here. Our dino friend. You can see how much darker now that robe is getting. I need to clean up some of the some of this extra excess here. But that definitely is darkening. So this is just a paint-free brush that I got here, and I'm just soaking up some of the excess in certain spots there. I'm going to get the Nuln Oil back out, and I'm going to go over the face one more time. This might be overkill, but that's okay with me. Make sure that I got the brown out of my brush, out of my wash brush, from the rocks and stuff that we just did. You don't have to do this part. This is just me wanting to make this even darker. Inside of the mouth should be dry now, so especially back here and back of the head. Again, if you look at photos, the front of his face is very light, and the back of his face gets progressively darker. That'll dry up nicely. Alright, so now while I let the face dry, let's do some of those red details. So, get out our buddy Mephiston Red here. See if I can get a picture of his belt buckle. Make sure I get the... Of course, that picture makes my paint job look terrible. That's such a cool picture. Why didn't I see that before? Oh, that's from a video game, though. We're going for movie here. Or TV show. Was he ever in a movie? I'm sure that he was. Let's see. I guess I'll make good pictures of his belt buckle. But somebody said that the symbol in the middle was red, so it's easy. So this is Mephiston Red, also a Citadel paint. Running out of room on my palette here. Only 3 movies. Ivan Ooze, Devatox, I don't know what that is, and Rito. There was a Turbo movie, right? For sure. I think there was a Turbo movie. Wasn't Turbo after Mighty Morphin? I think Turbo was the next show after Mighty Morphin, and I think there was a movie. Yellow circle on the belt buckle. There is a circle on the belt buckle on this model. And you're saying it's yellow, so I will paint it yellow. Autox was a turbo. So the movie was before the series. Does the model have that strange silver circle thing on the left side of his neck? No. Not that I can see. Okay. Yellow. What shade of yellow are we looking at that circle? Is it like bright yellow? Is it... Because I legit don't see it on any of the pictures that I'm looking at. A yellow circle. Come on, open, thank you. Oh yeah, I see that now. It's kind of like... Oh, so it isn't even red. It's just straight yellow circle. Okay. No red, yellow circle. Got it. Well, we're going to leave it red for now. Because I need to move on to other colors, but we'll come back to it. I'm still waiting on the face to dry. So I'm just... This is the same color. I'm just using a little bit to kind of go over some of the spots that we darkened down. Silver buckle with Pac-Man yellow circle. Yeah, maybe we'll go back and use that metal, the black metal on the buckle to match the bracers. I think that would be cool. The head is not drying fast enough, guys. I'm concerned that we are going to run out of time. He doesn't have them on the model. Trying to soak up some of this. I did not think it was going to take that long to dry. Holy smokes. I realized I did too, but it was pretty much dry the... I'm legit running out of room on this palette. for anything. Yeah, the model doesn't have those, I got a little bit of Eschen Gray. It's slightly lighter than German Gray. And I'm just kind of putting it in places that I want to show lighter than the basically lighter than the highlights, like the trim on the robe. This trim, I want to keep that black darker than everything else. So I'm just kind of like using it to highlight his pants and like the scale on his chest and the scale on his arms. On camera, you probably can't see a difference, but there's a difference in that than that black trim that we're going for. That might be too bright of a yellow. Alright, I think that the face is as dry as I'm gonna get it. Let's see, let's get some... Alright. Let's see what I want to do here. Do I want to do blue? I don't think I want to do blue. Not yet, anyway. is something on that brush. Nope, don't like that. Looks like there's something on this brush. Let's try this one out. So basically what I'm doing now is I'm testing out some dry brushing using right now Celestial Gray. I may I'm just going to be playing around with some of the colors. So I'll let you know kind of like what mix I'm using once I get to a point that I like, but for now I'm just kind of playing around with the colors. So I don't want to tell you exactly what I'm using because I may change it. Glad I got a new bottle of Ulthuan Gray coming because this one is just... I need like a little mini whiteboard to put next to my computer, so that way when I get low on a paint color or a paint color starts acting up on me, I can write it down and then I know. Because I feel like this stuff happens like on stream, but I'm like, oh, I'll worry about it later because I'm streaming and I can't worry about it right now. And then I don't ever get to it because I forget. I don't love this, but I don't hate it, so... Yeah, I don't love it, but I don't hate it. So basically what we did was Celestial Gray as a base, 2 coats of Nuln Oil over top. Then I did a full dry brush of the Celestial Gray again. Then a lighter dry brush of Ulthuan Gray in the front. And now I'm going to do a teeny tiny dry brush of White Scar just in the front. If I can get it out. The problem is like you'd need to send me a reminder text like the next day. Like, remind Louie tomorrow at, I don't know. Yeah, I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's not exactly what I had envisioned in my brain. Um, I don't know why I just used that brush. That was not the brush I wanted to use. Great. Luckily it didn't. I'm all over the place. All over the place, guys. That's what happens when you're low on time and you start rushing. Because the thing that makes the character look the way the character looks is the red on the face, right? So that's what I'm really trying to get to, is that red on the face. So we'll go back to our Mephiston red here. And let's see, it's just like his eyebrows, I think. Color are his eyes. Yellow with a red-orange outline. How orange? Let's see. Let me look at my pictures real quick. They almost look real. Oh, okay. That's a good picture. Alright, let's see. Get a little Ushabity bone. Also Citadel for the teeth. If I had more time, I would do a better job of blending those eyebrows, because it's not just red. It like blends between the red and the skin color, right? So I would mix some of the skin color, which was celestial gray, with some of the red, and I would just kind of go back over like the tips to kind of like blend it a little more. It would make it look a little pinkish, but if you look at the character, it does look a little pinkish, as the colors blend together. Like I said, it's not like war paint like scribbled on. It looks like it's, part of his skin that is like faded in there. So I would spend a little bit more time, blending those colors together, but we are going to run out of time. So right now I'm just trying to get these eyes done. Where's my black? Which one was it? I don't remember. Is it this one? Alright. Not in love. Not in love with the eyes. A lot of things I'm not in love with on this model. I feel like I need more shade, like around, like his eyes are super, in the images that I'm looking at anyway, like his eyes are really bright because like it's so dark around the eyes. Put in a little bit of selective wash in there. I think when I dry brushed with the brighter colors, I just made his eye area too bright. So some selective wash in there, basically just to make the bags around his eyes a little darker. So when that darkens up, it just will make his eyes pop a little more. That's it. That's all that was. Okay, so let's see if we can get some focus here. Look at what we did. There we go. Let's get in the eyes. Come on, focus. There we go. So you can kind of see some of that wash. It's going to take a minute to darken, but basically that's kind of the look that we were going for there. Mouth, eyes, eyebrows. This section in the back of the head could still be significantly darker than it is in the front, but we kind of ran out of time. I would, I don't know if I would do another wash or if I would just try and pick a different color and do some blending, but for the most part, I mean, it looks like the character does on the show, right? So it's instantly recognizable. I dig the green robe. I think it really breaks up just the straight black. I realize that it's probably different shades of black, different shades of grays and stuff. But by doing the green, I just think that it, I don't know, it kind of makes the model pop a little more for me. And then you got the claws, and yeah, everything else is pretty much self-explanatory. Overall, it was much more fun to paint than I thought it was going to be, and I'm very happy with the final product here. Obviously, we didn't get to the base, but base color, I'd probably just do like a purple base, maybe even that green. Maybe do that green on there. No, that might be too much green. Then his head would be like really popping too much. Probably purple is probably what I would go with. Just because the villains are, the bosses are masters, that's what they're called, are purple. Their cards are purple. So, can you see the whole figure? I don't know, can you? Can you see the whole thing? I mean, I guess I can focus it a little more. Yeah, so I'll take some pictures, and those will go up on my Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, it's at the real REAL Daddy Louie LOUIE, one word, and you can go follow me over there. That's where I post pictures. I don't even think I posted the pictures from Dane yet, because he's not done, and it drives me crazy posting pictures of unfinished models. So, but we did do a little bit to him today, so we'll just keep chipping away at that base until he's done. The more that I look at this model, the more I like it. So, really happy with how that turned out. So, all right. Well, anyway, that is going to wrap it up for. Look at my retirement beard, y'all. It's really getting nice and thick. That's going to wrap it up for me. Go check out my Instagram. Check out my YouTube, youtube.com/Circle of Nerds. You can find all of my old painting content on there. I do plan on eventually getting around to making new painting content. I just haven't had the time to do that. Thank you, as always, to Renegade for having me on stream. I love doing this, and it is a dream come true for me, and it's because you guys watch and because you guys keep asking for more that they continue to allow me to do this. So please continue to ask them for more Daddy Louie content, and I will be happy to get that out when and if they let me. Next stream will be 2 weeks from today. That is November 8th, same bat time, same bat channel. Remember, take care of yourself, take care of others, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to play your games. Love you. Have a good week. See ya.